Hi, and welcome to Nurses Move. This channel is dedicated to nurses who want to move abroad for live the dream of their life. Today we are with Sybil to talk about her experience as a migrant nurse, which are the difficulties and the benefit. Hi, Sybil. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good. And where are you at the moment?
I'm in Texas, in the U.S.
Okay. How is the weather?
Right now, it's summer here, so
It's nice.
I'm pretty happy with it.
So thank you very much for coming in today to talk with us and to share your experience as a migrant nurse. So please can you introduce yourself and tell us where you become a nurse and why? Please, thank you very much.
Sure. I'm Sybil. I graduated nursing in the Philippines in the year 2007. It's my decision actually to go to nursing. I actually had my first course was engineering, and I'm actually not really happy with it.
Okay.
So I had to change on my after first year in college in engineering. So I had to find a course where I'm going to be happy. So I took nursing and continued until I graduated.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you have some experience as a nurse in the Philippines.
Well, in the Philippines, during that time, that was the time that my dad actually has lost his work. So he can't actually support us. So I have to find a job which I can have paid salary. So I had to go with a different job, which is from it's also related with nursing. It's just that I don't go to bedside, so I do other stuff instead.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you decide to move abroad?
So I decided when there was a specific opening in Saudi. So that's my first experience. I went in
Saudi
Saudi
Arabia.
Arabia, yes, in 2011. And I was given a chance to work as an ICU nurse in a mixed trauma medical surgical ICU over there. So that was 2011 until 2013. And I actually have to take another exam for that because they do actually recognize our license in the Philippines. However, we have to take another licensure, which is under so we can be registered under Saudi Arabia nurse and I think nurse council. I forgot how it is called.
Okay, I want to ask you the English test. You had to do it or no? Just the exam for
No,
registration.
it's just like a licensure exam in Saudi. So it's like a computer-based exam that I actually took when I was in the Philippines. It's being under Pearson View, which is the same. I think it's the same testing center that actually cater both UK and US.
Like NCLX?
For the NCLEX, yes.
Yeah, okay. And how was your experience in Saudi Arabia? Because I know it's still a high demand of nurses in there, and there are lots of job opportunity. We want to share some experience, and thank you for being here for share your experience.
Yeah, well, Saudi Arabia, culturally, it's totally different. Like socialization down to how you actually go over around the country. So first thing, you actually have to wear their black dress. They call it abaya, where you have to cover yourself whenever you go out.
As a
And
woman?
yeah, so it's quite fine as long as you're following their rules and regulations. You're gonna be fine. You going to grocery with in group of people because you're all female, so you don't go alone. And then there's a scheduled transportation that's being fixed to you by your employer as well. So going in and out of the hospital, it's like there's a bus service for everyone, like from going to the hospital and going back to where your accommodation is. It's more of our safety as well.
Okay.
Since you can't drive alone in there, you're not allowed to drive. I'm not sure they changed it right now. I think female are now allowed to drive, but then again, before you actually have to drive in group. Unless the driver is your husband, then you can go with your husband. That's it. But if you're single, you're not allowed to mingle with single male there. So you go by groups, so group of female
Okay.
without
Yeah.
any single male with you. So that's the totally different thing of
Okay.
what we have in the UK and the US.
So your experience in Saudi Arabia was mainly for job, for work.
Yeah, I went
You
there just
just
for the job experience.
okay. So
Exactly.
there, just think about work and that's it. I suppose it was quite hard. I mean, for me, it could be hard. So
It is really hard, especially the adjustment. However, since because in one accommodation, you're in group of people, which is you are with the Filipinos as well. So it depends on your citizenship. So if you come from the Philippines, they would actually put you in one accommodation, and you actually get to make friends with them as well, with
see.
your colleagues as well. So it has been fun, 3 years experience there, because I get to meet a lot of like different Filipinos from all over. Because Philippines is quite like an island, so I get to have a chance to like talk to different Filipinas from different places as
Yes,
well.
yes, yes, yes.
I did enjoy it, but it really depends on how your point of view in life is, like how
Of
you
course.
see that whenever you come to a different country, because you really have to adjust. It's not going to be the same culture, the same lifestyle for everyone. But
Of course.
since I came in that country, I actually like settled in. I actually prepared my mind and myself on what I'm going to be doing, and I don't expect that they're going to be doing the same thing on what I came from. So you just have to like set your mind up and
So you
really,
had a commitment and
yeah,
you did and you achieved your goals and yeah,
exactly. Yes.
it's very mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It's very proper mindset. Okay, thank you very much. So after that you moved to UK.
Yeah, I just rested for a while back home in the Philippines. I just tried to see what my next plan would be if I'm gonna be going back to Saudi. Because by the way, I worked in the capital, which is Riyadh. I was actually thinking of going to other city in Saudi, which is Jeddah, which is quite more lenient as compared to Riyadh. So but then again, when that happened, one of my friend from college told me that there's an opening in the UK. I might want to try that. So that's what I did. So come 2016, I was hired in. I have no idea what this is. I just told them that I have experience in ICU, and I have no idea what type of ICU I'm going to be in. So I just tried, and then luckily I was actually I was able to take the job.
Okay, sorry.
That was in 2016. Sorry,
Okay. Yeah, it's the place where we knew each other's in
but
process
yeah,
because we
yes,
were colleagues. Did you done some exam as a Filipino nurse for work in UK?
yes. So actually, before we're allowed to take the NMC exam, we have to pass the English proficiency exam first, and we had to take that back home in the Philippines. So
Okay.
before we have to like at least like band seven. That's how they score. Like
Yes,
you
yes.
should have like a band score of 6.5, or 7. So right after that exam, we have to take like a computer-based exam as well, which is in the Philippines. And then the employer, which actually sent us in London,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to review for 3 months with,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to take the skills exam, which
Okay.
is now in, I think in UK. That's, I forgot what the name is. Like, but we have to take the skills test specifically in the UK. It's
Okay.
not programmed to be done outside the UK. And then that's what we get there, our registration.
Okay. You were in hospital for 2 years?
3 years,
Three
I
years,
believe so.
sorry, 3 years,
Yeah.
yes. And then you decide to move to US
Yeah, I actually renewed my
and MC.
Yeah, no, it's all, yeah, I renewed my NMC and then I renewed my visa as well. But
Okay.
as soon as May comes, my immigration papers came in as well for US, and I had
Um,
to undergo interview. So I actually already renewed like fresh another 3 years to stay in the UK, but missing the interview for the immigration in the US will be a big loss for me. So I had to choose. So it's quite hard to choose between those two. So I did attend the interview, and then that came really quickly, and I had to tell my employer that I had to leave. So that's what happened.
okay. And now, can you tell us your experience in USA?
Well, in the U.S., well, after that, papers were processed in the immigration. It's quite a lot. Like mine is like through immigration, but if it's like regular process wherein like Filipinos would want to go in the U.S., they would have to talk with an agency, and the agency would process it for them. But for me, I was waiting for that papers when I was already in the UK, and
Mm-hmm.
then like what I mentioned, when I as soon as I renewed my visa, my working visa for another 3 years, that's the time that my immigration interview came in as well. So as soon as my interview actually was approved, it just went really quickly. Like I had to attend a medical exam.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, I had to schedule a flight going to the US. But right before doing everything, I had already took a licensure exam in the US. But you can take that in any Pearson VUE testing site in any country that where Pearson VUE is. That's what you call the NCLEX
Mm-hmm.
exam. So you get certified, and then as soon as you transfer in the US, then you can apply for a job in any nursing facility or any big hospital. However, if you come from an agency would process that for you, and then they will find you an employer, like how it was when I transferred in the UK. An agency process everything and they find us an employer. But for me, since I came here with all the papers as an immigrant, then I applied right after. So it's quite hard for me. It's a long process. Like it's quick for me to go here, but afterwards, finding a job, learning to drive, which I don't do since I was in the Philippines. I'm not driving in Saudi. Once I came here with the immigration papers, I had to file, like find my way from the
Yeah.
beginning. So I had to learn how to drive, take a driver's license exam, and then have to find employers that would actually reply to my email for a job,
Yeah.
and then go to interview. But as soon as you're done with the interview, they will give you the information on when can you start and also those process. So as soon as I came here July of 2019. That was last year. uh, I just had to finish everything until September with all the driver's license papers, because I have to get my social security, which all Americans would need to have before you can apply for a job. And then once all of those were processed, and that's the time I applied for a job. And then I started the job with all those screenings and checking my background, because they have to check all my education background, my experiences, which is from two different countries.
Of course.
Saudi, they have to call, and then UK, they have to call, and then my school as well in the Philippines. And and then I started my job October of 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was working, good thing I was working in a cardiothoracic ICU in the
Okay.
UK. I was able to land a job in a cardiovascular intensive care here
Okay.
in Texas. So I
Okay.
was happy about all of those things after everything.
So it was hard, but it's pay off later
Yes,
in few
exactly.
months finally.
Exactly.
Okay. So you didn't have an agency as usually almost the migrant nurses use for go to US. You did
Yeah.
by yourself.
Because I have a relative
Okay.
here.
Okay.
So it's a different path, but same paperworks and all. except for like them. As soon as they come in here, their accommodation will be like settled as well. The agency would help them with all the licensures, with the driver's license, and then the employers as well. So all of those sorts of things that I have to do on my own.
Okay. You did brilliant in few months. I think you're proud of yourself.
I think it's because of the stress that I have to like pass everything, especially those like with the student license, I have to do that in 2 weeks time, and then I have to pass after 2 weeks. I have to pass my driver's license exam because I need to find a job. So I had to like really stress myself with that.
But you're very commitment person, so
Yeah, I need to. Yes.
okay, good job. Brilliant.
Thank you.
You saw finally 4 different countries because your own country, you come from Saudi Arabia, UK, and USA. Can you tell us some general overview about difference in terms of experience, feelings, and emotion as well? How work as a nurse in those different countries?
Yeah, well, like it's a whole new thing every country. So when I was in Saudi, I had to like find time to have fun and uh, see something good when I'm at home, because it's just like work home, work home. That's it.
Yes.
Because you only go out if you need to buy groceries, shop for some clothes which you actually don't need because you're covering yourself with black dress.
Yeah.
So we actually go to like groceries with our pajamas on because we just have to like put on the black dress. But then again, it's fun because you get to meet a lot of female nurses, because you're not allowed to like mingle with single male nurses unless you're at the hospital. And so I get to have fun and just try to find something fun even though you're at home, which this quarantine is doing with us
Taking
right
notes, of
now. So
course.
it's like that, and
Yeah.
then going to work. Or at least when we go to work, it's like normal. We wear our like usual uniform. We don't have to cover ourselves, which is a good thing. And then we can mingle with other gender, which is
Yeah.
totally different from outside world in Saudi. But otherwise, I had really good experience. They have like a high technology intensive care units as well. That's where I learned everything from skills down to the technologies that's being used in the intensive care unit, which actually helped me advance and have the edge to be confident on what I do. And I think that really helped me to land a job in the UK, because I don't have to think of what I'm going to say, because I've experienced all of it, the hardships as well. Like it's really not an easy path working in a Saudi a hospital, because the culture is different, people are different. We cater for the Saudi people, and you actually have to do what they want you to do. So, and I think underappreciated, just not to say something bad, but that's what I experienced. Like, but so when I came in the UK, that's actually where I enjoyed, because there's over appreciation for the nurses. Like I really feel really good with it. Plus the fact that London is a really, 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 really great city.
Yeah.
Like every corner, like what I will always tell for my friends in the Philippines, that every corner is like Instagrammable. I'm
Yes, it's
always Yeah, so I'm always happy to get lost whenever I don't find my way to where I'm going. Like if I want to go to like my first few days going to work and then home, I always get lost. But I'm really like really in awe with what I'm seeing in the
of course
city
very
itself.
beautiful city in terms of
Yes. Oh my
architecture,
God,
but
it
people
is.
as well.
Yes, and the people especially.
Yeah,
Like so the people are very appreciative, especially the patients that we have,
as well.
which I didn't experience back from my experience before. And so with the equipments, I've like there's little adjustment, but the big adjustment was I did not came from a surgery, because I came from trauma. experience. We do cater for heart, so it's like all heart, heart, heart. So I had to like study a lot regarding the complications on what we're doing. You know what we're doing. So I learned a lot of new things. Plus the fact that all the seniors were really helpful with the knowledge and the additional skills that you have to know. Because it's a different, like, I know that it's high technology back in Saudi, but it's different. There's a lot of different devices that we use specifically for the heart.
Okay.
And that helped me. So it's like a staircase that's actually precisely worked out for me really well, because as soon as I came here, I landed the job for a cardiovascular intensive care unit, which actually helped me with my experience from the UK, because the devices are the same.
Okay.
Although sometimes it's more modern here. They just have it, since it's a different hospital, it's also a different thing on how they do it here as well. Plus, I just have to adjust with 1 to 2 patient ratio. We have 1 to 1 in UK. They have 1 to 2 here.
Okay.
But they have a lot of help. They have RTs for the vent. We don't in the UK. And then we have help like our nurse assistant is just like, I think few in the UK. They do have like a lot to help in here. But the units like medical terminologies, there are some that they need to adjust back. Because the medical terminologies, we're actually using it when we were in the Philippines when we were studying. So I had to unlearn some of it. Not unlearn, like we don't usually use them in the UK, but I have to learn them back, because that's what what they are using here in the US, like the metric system, how they do the chemistry, like the labs. So the ADGs. They have some of that, like they use a different metric system. So it's just some adjustment. Until now, I'm still adjusting as well. But the rest of it, like the devices, I see it when I was still in.
It was quite easy, just like that.
Yeah, but I have to like learn again how to mingle with different person. These are totally different people again. So it's a new adjustment, new leadership, new seniors.
Okay.
So I'm still like on my half of the year. I think it's my 7th month. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Turning 9 months. Turning 8 months this June.
Okay.
Yeah. So still adjusting.
I think you gain a lot experience, not just in terms of work, but experience of life as well.
Yeah.
You know, I love to travel, move abroad, but my husband wants to stay now. So I really love, so I want to change hospital at all, because I love where I am now. I'm on maternity leave, by the way, but yes, I a person would like to move abroad again and again and again. I know that it's not really possible sometimes. I've got 3 kids, so, but yeah, I'm very, very happy for you, because you were able to do this massive experience. And about this channel, you are a perfect nurse, actually, because you move a lot. I can understand it was hard sometimes, but you're really committed. So thank you for sharing your experience. And I think it was nice, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. But I think it's still on the learning curve, because I'm still just starting in the US. I can't say a lot yet here in the US, because, I'm still stressing myself how to drive going to work. It's like 30 minutes compared to my 30 minutes going to just the tube or bus. Here I have to like drive and go to work and then back and forth. So right after 12-hour shift, going to work and then driving back home, that's challenging too, because you're sleepy, because I'm all night shifting here.
Okay.
So it's not like what we have in that we actually interchange days and nights.
Yeah.
Here I signed up for like just all nights. That's what
Okay, so
I chose.
still 12-hour shift in
Still
U.S.A.
12-hour shifts, yes.
Okay.
And then they asked me during the interview if I want nights or days. I just prefer the night shifts. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be changing soon because I think I'm more like of a night person too.
Okay. So how many shifts do you do in a row?
It's the same. However, here you're paid by the hour. So they would want you to do at least minimum of 3 per week.
Okay.
Other than that will be if you go over 3 per week, that's gonna be an overtime. So
So they pay
anything,
overtime.
yeah, anything over 12 hours, they're gonna be paying you overtime pay for that too.
Okay.
So but that should be like a legit overtime. Like you don't stay just because. You have to really have it's really like not, they're gonna be tracking down all those over the 12-hour shifts that you do every day. So it's um, 3 per week, and then you get paid every 15 and 30, like every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So unlike what we have back in the UK, it's like I think every month,
Monthly.
and then it's already programmed on how much we're gonna be paid, regardless if we stay over or not, unless we do bank shifts, which is like you need to sign up for a bank, like
Yeah.
a different one.
In UK, yes.
Yeah, so it's different.
You know, in this channel, we just not talk about how to migrate in certain country, but we more share experience about nurses. So, because you have all this experience, can you just tell us, maybe from your point of view, which is better, which countries is better, or where did you find better work or better life? Even if you told us already that you have four different experience, so you gain experience in all the place. But yes, which is the better place?
I've been asked a lot with that type of question, but all I can say is that it really depends on your priority. So I still got some friends and colleagues who's been staying in Saudi because they were able to meet like their husband. Like they met someone, even though it's really hard to find someone there. They met someone from the hospital or whatever, and then they stayed there. But and they're still happy. They still got the same job and fulfillment. They have their own family, so that's their priority. They started a family there, and they try to settle there. I'm not for sure if they're while they're doing everything, they're planning to transfer to another country. So that depends. And then when it comes to UK versus US, that's the most asked question regarding which is better, US or UK.
Yeah.
So it really depends again on the priorities, because I can say that the work-life balance in the UK is far more better than in the US. But I can't say that for sure because I'm just staying here for 8 months. But on what I'm seeing with our 12-hour shift, we only get like 30 minutes break for that whole 12-hour shift, regardless if you're night or morning shift. They will give you an extra 15 minutes, but it really depends if your unit is not that busy. However, in the UK, in morning we have like I think 4 breaks. Nighttime we have sleep break. We have for like before the sleep break we also have an extra break. So that really differs from what I am experiencing right now here in the US. So it's just all work, and but you have only 3 days in a week for an ICU nurse in my hospital specifically, and then the rest of the week you decide what you do. You can either travel, go somewhere, or it depends on you.
Yeah.
And then in the UK, you also have like automatic 5 weeks of vacation leave plus your maternity leave. I think is longer.
Yeah, I think so. In US, is very short time of maternity leave.
Yeah, I think after 3 or 2 months, they need
Yeah,
to
it's
come back
very
to
little,
work.
little. Yes.
And then they can only get to break like on their 7th month. And then we have 5 weeks vacation leave. And then if you get sick, you get sick. However, in the UK or here in the US, you have to gain your leave. Like they call it paid time off, but you have to gain the hours of those paid time off depending on how many hours you've already worked.
Yeah, so you have to work first and then you gain.
Situation. So those things, and then 1 to 2. So I have to adjust with 1 to 2 as well. So you think of 2 patients, regardless if one is busy, regardless if one is really sick and the other one is not. So it really depends on how your assignment's going to be. But as much as possible, the manager would usually check if it's really doable. So that's the thing. And then living wise, London, we know, everyone knows that it's really an expensive city. Well, it comes because the place is really good. No one will actually beat that. And then the living expenses. So my bedroom cost here in the US is already like a 1 bedroom whole apartment, everything for yourself. And it's just like a 2 bedroom as compared in the UK, in London particularly. So you save up for that. However, you have to think of the insurance, your car loan, because you can't like pay it in whole because you're just starting, and then your gas and all. But you actually manage that in terms of the transportation in the UK, which is also not cheap. You have to pay for the transportation for the tube bus and all. So you just have to weigh your priorities on
Of course.
whichever you want to do. If you want to like travel Europe, then it's hard to do that when you're here in the US. You have to earn your paid time off, earn money. Well, you can earn money and go to Europe in one go. But right in the UK, I can say that whenever I'm stressed, like what I do, sometimes I just go by bus, go to Paris in overnight bus for a cheap price, then I can de-stress myself. But here, well, you can visit some of the country, but Texas is really big. And here, you really have to have a car to go from one place to another, because you can't just go down in your flat and buy something from a grocery. It's quite far from each other. So you really have to drive down there and buy your own grocery. So, and then in Saudi, you don't have to really think of the transportation because everything's prepared for you. Everything's scheduled when you go to the grocery. So I cannot really say that this one is best with this one. Really depends on your life priorities at the moment, because you don't know what's going to happen. You can have a family, you can stay single, you want to go partying, then definitely not Saudi, but you can go partying in your home with the friends and colleagues. And then, yeah, that's what I can say. But right now with what's happening, I think I'll be more. I'm expecting myself just to stay in the place where I am right now, because it's really hard to like at this point in time to really adjust from one place to another. There's a lot of like opportunities as well here for nursing advancements. You can go from being just a regular nurse to a nurse practitioner. You just have to like do your master's, and you can go to like next level, going to being a doctor if you want. So there's really a big options for you on which way to go. So I think I can settle here and just do whatever is going to be good for me in the future.
Of course.
Yeah,
And
and then visit London.
as you already told us, priorities change time by time. So
exactly. So it really depends on what you're, if you want to travel and just be near Europe and stay in London, which is really good. I really miss London. Like honestly, I miss London. But I say to myself that I'll just like earn this paid time off, maybe because we have pandemic as well, so I can't even travel. So at least I have the time to like just stay at home and go to work and then save up for any future plans of traveling.
Sybil, I really thank you for staying with us today, for tell us a little bit about your experience traveling through different country. And thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, Dina, and it's really good catching up with you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yes, I'm so happy to see you again. I miss your work with
Me
you, by the
too.
way. Smiling as usual. As of today, smiling.
Oh, I miss everyone as well. So when you come back, just tell them my regard to all of you guys in there.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe as well. At least the pandemic is already almost like
Yeah,
I think your COVID. I think I'm still getting some catching up with some of my friends there, so it's decreasing. That's what we're experiencing here too. So that's what's important. Like everything's gonna go to normal again.
hopefully soon. Yes,
Yeah, hopefully. So I can visit you there.
absolutely. Thank you very much, Sybil. I hope you have
Welcome.
a lovely day.
You too.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Bye bye.